Hey guys, it's me, Sarin, back with another video. So this video is going to be a spin-off of my last episode of The Black Americans. Shout out to Melanie yet again for being a part of it. If you guys have not seen it, please check it out. There will be links either popping up, as they always do, if you click on the eye in the right-hand corner, or if you check in the description box. Around the 45 minute mark, we started talking about this concept of teasing and bullying, because there is a lot of talk about how foreign blacks and continental Africans in particular, but all foreign blacks are like just so traumatized by being teased by Black Americans and by being bullied. And something that me and Melanie talked about in the video was that for the most part, we feel like that teasing and bullying occurred in childhood, that those were childhood insults, and that what a lot of foreign blacks end up doing is developing a chip on their shoulder that they then carry into adulthood, and they sort of use that as an excuse for their irrational hatred of Black Americans. I'm also going to say irrational as well as xenophobic, which I'm going to get to a little bit later on. But it seems to be this idea that, like, it's totally fine to say whatever you want about Black Americans. It's totally fine to call us akadas. It's totally fine to call us lazy. It's totally fine to call us welfare crack babies on Section 8 that don't want to work and, you know, all this stuff. Even though you're talking about a specific group, right? And you're talking about a specific ethnic group or a specific racial group based off nationality, which would make your comments about Black Americans xenophobic, which is hilarious because it's like everybody thinks that it's totally fine to say whatever they want about Black Americans, and yet they have this huge chip on their shoulder talking about how Black Americans were so mean to them and bullied them and teased them. And something that I said in that video was, I was like, you know, honestly, I feel like the majority of Black Americans feel like that shit wasn't that serious, that's what we do. We tease, we roast, we tease each other. Not saying that it's okay. I'm actually going to read you guys a comment where I go a little bit more in depth with somebody in the comments on that video. Not saying that it's okay, but that is something that we do. A lot of foreign blacks seem to have it in their mind that they were picked on specifically for being foreign, like as if we don't fuck with each other. We fuck with each other. And I also wanted to make this video because I feel like, I'm just going to say it, Black Americans are never going to apologize for that. Ever. Never. We don't care. So if that's going to be the hill that you're going to die on in terms of these like diaspora wars, then they're just never going to end. Because Black Americans are never going to do what you want because we really don't take it that serious. And I personally don't think it's that serious. I think a lot of people are using that as a scapegoat to hide the irrational hatred and xenophobic beliefs about Black Americans that they already have. They're using it as a confirmation bias. I already feel this type of way about Black Americans, so any little thing that I can latch on to justify my hate, I'm going to do it. And I really feel like that's what this whole African booty scratcher, bullying, teasing, this is being used now as a device, as a confirmation bias device to confirm what you guys already believe about us, which is that we're mean, we are lazy, again, we are dirty, we are this, we are that. And I just feel like, number one, y'all gonna have to build a bridge and get over it because Black Americans fuck with everybody. That's just a part of what we do. Sorry, it's a part of our culture. We can talk about moving forward through that type of behavior, but we're never gonna get on our knees and apologize for it. So if you're gonna hold that grudge, you're gonna hold that motherfucking grudge to the grave because we're never gonna do what you want. So I just feel like even the way that we tend to frame this conversation around the bullying and the teasing, the framing of the conversation tends to start at, well, we're never going to get past it until Black Americans get on their knees and suck us off and apologize and kiss our feet and wash our feet like Jesus. And it's like, well, that's never going to happen. So how do we reframe this? Because that's just never going to happen, right? So I'm going to get into the comment that I originally left the person, and we're going to get into this video a little bit deeper. Interesting dialogue, but Sarin, in regards to foreign blacks getting bullied, I think you're minimizing just how bad it was for many of us in the 80s and 90s. Speaking as a Haitian American, a lot of the Haitian kids were straight up getting attacked for just being foreign and looking different, which I also want to say, it's very interesting how, again, speaking on double dipping and how foreign blacks jump in and out. Now, when they want, it's, we all look exactly the same. No one can tell us apart. We're all exactly the same. White people view us the same. Everybody views us the same, so we're the same. When they want, it's We look different. We're teased for being different. Everybody knows that we're different. Everybody knows that we're foreign. Y'all flip the narrative based on what's convenient for you. How about you pick a point and stick with it? I think some healing would start to take place if everyone took ownership of their part in the diaspora war. I agree with a lot of your sentiments, and I'm just trying to provide more clarity. Now, I feel like, again, that framing, it's never going to work. It's never going to work for us. It's never going to work for us. Ever. Okay, no offense, but I feel like everyone gets bullied and gets their asses beat. Black Americans beat each other's asses, bully each other, tease each other, name call each other. We form gangs over colors, over streets and neighborhoods, and fuck each other up. This was a huge thing in D.C. when I was growing up, because she also uses an example, her being from Miami, and how people would bully Haitians in Miami. I'm from D.C. Ain't no Haitians in D.C. Wasn't nobody bullying Haitians in D.C. We was fucking with each other exactly the same. If anything, y'all should be fucking flattered that we fuck with you, because we fuck with everyone that we consider to be one of us, right? Everyone gets fucked with. This was a huge, huge thing in D.C. when I was growing up. Set tripping is not just a song. This is behavior that we do. Not saying it's okay, which I put in all caps, and a big part of Joy DeGruy's theories on post-traumatic slave syndrome talks about behaviors that Black Americans have specifically that is troubling and born out of trauma, which we need to heal, for sure. But foreign Blacks have this idea that y'all are special, that you were specially bullied, be it being called African booty scratcher, be it people beating up Haitians, which definitely was a thing, etc., and that BAs need to get on our knees begging you for forgiveness because y'all were so specially picked on and you were not. Let me tell you, you were not specially picked on. No one cares. You're never going to get the apology that you want. So if that's what you're waiting for to heal and move forward, it's never going to happen, ever. And I'm really saying that from like the bottom of my soul. You think that BAs need to get on our knees begging you for forgiveness because y'all were so specially picked on and you were not. We fuck up everyone. We fuck up each other. I think everybody needs to let shit go because Black Americans are never going to do what y'all want, or you cannot let it go. It's your prerogative. Black Americans don't ask anybody to do shit for us. We don't hold on to grudges. We really don't. Like, I don't lay in bed at night, like, thinking, like, oh my God, somebody called me a fucking crack baby today. I'd be like, oh, just another day. Somebody called me a crack baby. Oh, just another day. A white person called me a nigger. I'm not looking for an apology. I don't care. I don't care. Black Americans are never going to do what you want, so you should let it go, or you cannot let it go. Shrugs, your prerogative. Black Americans don't ask anybody to do shit for us. We don't hold on to grudges, so if that's what y'all want to do to us, then it's on y'all, and that's really genuinely how I feel about that. And then people started replying. Let's be real. I'm also Haitian, but what I personally saw growing up was other Caribbean people bullying us. I don't know why we give the Jamaicans, Dominicans, people from Dominica, and other West Indians a pass when they traumatized us the most. Black Americans were the least of my problems, which yet again, acting like Black Americans real specifically had something out for y'all, like as if people don't pick on each other or as if other Caribbean people don't pick on Haitians. Again, that's because there's a confirmation bias of y'all already hating Black Americans. So you just throw shit against the wall until it sticks and you can find a fake-ass reason to hate us. Most people I saw get bullied were people who were dark-skinned, had an accent, or had a funny name. If you had all three, like many Africans did, you got it worse. Haitians often checked off too. I also have a theory that people mistake a lot of Black Caribbean people with Black Americans because they have similar names due to being enslaved by English people, so Black Americans get the brunt of the blame. Yet again, us getting blamed because y'all already don't like us. Especially when you consider the Haitians who got it worse were the ones in Miami where it was mostly Caribbean, while those who were in, say, Boston did not get it as bad. Somebody replied to that. I'm a Black American from Northport, Alabama, and I never met any foreign Blacks until I turned 35. This is a big learning experience for me. I don't know what these people are talking about. Somebody else, I swear, Africans and West Indians act like they never made fun of someone before. They are holier than thou and act perfect. Which is true. Everybody acts like black Americans have all this motherfucking pathology, which we do have a lot of pathology, but we have pathology throughout the diaspora that everybody likes to pin on black Americans. And somebody even said that in the comments. Somebody left a comment that was like, a lot of Caribbeans have this real specific disdain for black Americans. Like, we don't have our own issues in the Caribbean, especially with colorism being rampant and abuse in families. We should worry about ourselves before pointing the finger at others. Somebody else wrote back like, oh, you wrote Caribbeans, but obviously you're talking about Jamaicans, because these are points that are only brought up when we're talking about Jamaicans, and everybody knows that black Americans are so dysfunctional, and you trying to change the subject. And the person was like, whoa, that's not what I said. Like, and then somebody else even jumped in, tried to clarify, and they were like, I think they're just saying that people that are in glass stones, the people that are in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, that we all have issues that we need to work with, so everybody needs to stop piling on black Americans. And this person just kept going and going and going. And I was like, you see, you don't like black Americans. You don't like black Americans. And instead of listening and having a conversation, you're going off about how much you fucking hate us, which I'm going to get to some more comments, but let's keep going. I think people need to understand that while Haitians were being bullied by one group of black Americans, the majority of black Americans are not growing up around black immigrants and didn't even realize what was happening. We don't typically even bring up Haitians or anything because we don't even see them. Black immigrants tend to settle in specific areas, and it's usually in the eastern parts of the U.S., also California, but if you aren't from places, you don't even see these different ethnicities. This sentiment that every black American was going in on Haitians or Africans, etc., for something that they never even knew was happening is misguided, which I said. I was like, black immigrants have a warped perception. Number one, y'all have a warped perception about everything, like everything. I was like, but they really have a warped perception about black Americans. Like, they just don't know us. They don't know us. They don't know our culture. They don't understand our culture. They don't understand roasting. I've had people say to me, like, well, in my culture, let's say Haitian. I'm throwing that out there. It wasn't a Haitian, but, well, in my Haitian culture, we don't do that. In my culture, if you talk bad about somebody's mom, like, that's like a big deal. You asking to get your ass beat. And I was like, well, in my black American culture and ethnicity, bitch, your mama jokes are where it's at. I'll call your mama fat. I'll call her a crackhead. I'll call her poor, broke. I'll talk about her Payless shoes. Like, in my culture, that's what we do. And you're here. I'm not in Haiti telling you that you need to adopt to my American culture in Haiti. But you're here in the United States telling us that we need to do things your way instead of having sympathy and empathy for us and our culture and accepting that we have our own culture that is real, our own ethnicity, our own ways of behaving, and we don't have to change for y'all. And y'all don't get to come in our house and tell us what to do and rearrange the furniture like as if you're better than us and your culture is better than ours. And it's just, those days are just, they're over, they're done. The people who are saying those things about Haitians that everyone loves to leave out are mostly other non-black Caribbeans and other Caribbeans and Africans, but okay. Like Seren said, most of us BAs have zero contact with foreign blacks until later on in life, and we all got bullied, so get the fuck over it. True, a lot of the worst violence done to Haitians are by other Caribbeans, like the Parsley Massacre. We should be more outraged at that than childhood bullying, which we all acknowledge is wrong, and I know that childhood scars hurt, but we're talking systems. Like, if they want to talk about the government not letting Haitians give blood because they thought they all had AIDS, now that is a real gripe. Right, yet again, we could be like, well, we're talking about a system. We're talking about a system of white supremacist infrastructure that favors black immigrants over native blacks and how that affects us and keeps black Americans specifically at the bottom. And people will be like, well, but a black American called me an African booty scratcher once. Y'all love a false equivalence in the morning. You love it. Y'all love it. I'm from a small city in Mississippi. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Somebody else. Yes, I'm also Haitian, and I've heard about the Be the Haitian Day and that stuff. But keep in mind, this abusive behavior is not something that is a sentiment throughout black American culture. Yes, it is a sentiment throughout all foreign black cultures. I don't want to hear that it's just Nigerians. I don't want to hear that it's just Igbos. I don't want to hear because y'all love playing hot potato with this. It is a sentiment throughout all foreign black culture that black Americans are less than, that we are lazy, that we don't want to work, that we are crack babies. We hear the exact same white supremacist rhetoric that white people spout at us from y'all, okay? It is not a sentiment throughout Black American culture that we gotta beat up Haitians or anyone. Most of us don't know nothing about y'all. We don't care about y'all. We don't grow up around y'all. We don't think about y'all. Y'all are super obsessed with us because of our hyper visibility. And you have all these, you're suffering from colonized minds. You have all this white colonial rhetoric stereotypes about us. And then you throw shit against the wall to hate us for until it sticks with your confirmation bias, period. Yes, I'm also Haitian and have heard about the Beat a Haitian Day and that stuff. But keep in mind, this abusive behavior is not something that is a sentiment throughout Black American culture. If you are from somewhere and you are a different plurality, people are going to be abusive. It's not right at all. But there is not an anti-Haitianism sentiment throughout BA culture like there is in Dominican culture, for example. But there is an anti-Black American sentiment throughout the Caribbean and continental Africa. They have it back home and they carry it here. If there was an overarching sentiment of anti-Haitianism, I would be right there with you, but there's not. It's like you're saying all Black Americans are right-wingers because you accidentally walked into a Black Republican Alliance meeting. I feel you and I recognize your pain, but we are not talking about your specific experience, mine, or even multiple people's. We are talking about collectives and groups. I can say, oh, I'm a good foreign Black, guys, so just forget about the other ones, but you cannot opt out of a collective. I'm sure you're a lovely individual, but it's not about that. Thank you. I've talked extensively about collectives versus hyper-individualism, especially in my hashtag #YesAllWhitePeople video. Please watch it if you haven't seen it. People think of themselves in terms of these hyper-individual ideas, especially here in the United States, and people that move here as in, well, I was beat up, so this is how it is for everyone. No idea of the way that things work for collectives. Yes, I'm from NC, and we called each other African booty scratchers, and I never met continental Africans until I was in college. They feel like we called them African booty scratcher very specifically, but we did not. It was just something funny to say to us as children. Y'all have to get the fuck over it! Y'all have to get the fuck over it. Agreed with this. The vast majority of Black Americans do not know Black immigrants, so the vast majority of us do not participate in bullying against them. We do not have anti-immigrant or foreign sentiment in our cultures. We grow up the opposite way with Pan-Africanism, thinking that we are all brothers, which was exactly what I said in my video with Melanie. Like, that's how we be on some we all Black shit, specifically because we do live in a majority white country, and we do have a history due to American chattel slavery where we just be like, well, all Black people are family, right? Which I talked about in the Black Americans with Ken. We have intergenerational leftover behavior from slavery that says that to us as Black Americans, all Black people are our people. That's how we feel. We don't have no fucking, as adults, we don't have no issues with anybody. That is a lie from the pits of hell. It is a chip on your shoulder, that stereotype that y'all are holding on to because you already don't like us. Like, you already don't like us. That's it. We're not going to apologize for shit, especially being as the majority of Black Americans, such as myself, have never encountered a foreign Black in our lives. Believe it or not, Black Americans also got bullied like myself, and we still are bullied till this day. Y'all migrated to our country, not vice versa. Y'all need to let go and let God. Right? I'm from southern Louisiana, lived in a small city I'm sure nobody ever heard of. There were not any Black immigrants, not one. Everybody that was Black was BA. So this bullying from BA's thing, I don't get it. And at this point, it's become an excuse to be bitter towards us. Like, Black immigrants really have a warped perception of Black America in general. Like, I had somebody tell me, like, oh, I don't understand what you're saying because most Black Americans have a non-Black American parent anyway and are mixed with something else. And I was like, no, that's not true. I was like, most Black Americans have two parents that are descendants of American chattel slavery. And she was like, well, not where I'm from. And I was like, where are you from? And she was like, well, I'm from New York. I was like, that's because there's a lot of Black immigrants in New York. Most niggas don't live in New York. Most Black Americans still live in the South, the American South. There's a lot of us in the Midwest. There are a lot of us in the Northeast, but there's a lot of fucking immigrants, Black immigrants in the Northeast. Y'all have a warped perception. You don't, again, like, y'all don't even know nothing about us, about our cities, about our culture, about who we are, about our ethnicity, but you think you know everything about us based off of these white supremacist stereotypes and want us to get on our knees and apologize to y'all, and it's just not ever gonna happen, ever. I got called African booty scratcher. It was not a term used solely for Africans. If anything, it was about colorism. Secondly, what the fuck is so hurtful about being called the African booty scratcher? Like, why does it hold so much weight? But they call us sensitive. Agreed. Black Americans really don't even take that shit serious. African booty scratcher? Y'all act like African booty scratcher is the same as nigger, which I'm gonna get to because I had to really get in this girl's ass on Instagram because she was arguing with this guy, and I just so happened to see it. I don't even know who this guy is or anything. She was arguing with this guy, and she said to him, "Oh, y'all have the nerve to still want your 40 acres and a mule. You have the nerve to still want reparations for slavery, but you don't want to apologize to black immigrants for the teasing and calling us African booty scratcher and the bullying." I was like, what? Bitch, you equating African booty scratcher with slavery? You really believe that? Y'all really, number one, y'all really have this overinflated sense of importance. Like, you're not that fucking important. Sorry. Like, you getting called African booty scratcher is not on the same level of importance as slavery. Like, it's just not. Like, it's really not. It's not the same as being called nigger. You're holding on to it because you just already don't like black Americans. Point blank, period. No one can change my mind. It's crazy. Getting called names is a rite of passage. Name one adult that got through childhood without being teased, and they'd be lying. This is just a cop-out because they really know we ain't do shit. They just hate us. And yet again, I do think that there's a difference in ethnicity and culture that's happening here because, again, being roasted is a part of our culture. It's just something you just got to go through. Like, we just roast. That's, and even again, going back historically, we laugh to keep from crying. Like, bitch. That's a master cut your arm off, bitch ass nigga. Like, that's what we do. That's what we do. That's a part of our culture. You cannot like it. You can't tell us to stop. I don't care. It's a lot of things y'all do that I don't like. I think mangoes are disgusting. Can I tell you stop eating them? I find them to be personally offensive. Stop eating them nasty things. No, I can't do that. It could just be me, but I'm 17. Elementary, middle school wasn't that long ago, and if my memory serves me correctly, we were all called African booty scratchers. Niggas were not singled out because they were African. I don't get it. Another one, I grew up in the Midwest surrounded by white people and black Americans. I never used that term, but I was called that as a child just teasing. I had no idea what it meant. I'm a black American. That word wasn't used just to bully African immigrants. Kids thought it sounded funny, so they say it. Kids say stupid things sometimes. I was like, all the time. They think that they are specially being bullied, and they are not. Like, y'all are not that special. Sorry. So getting to the girl that I had to get into her ass on Instagram. So this guy was like, Africans say that they don't feel unified with the Negro Americans because we allegedly said African booty scratcher years ago. All of us didn't say that. I was light-skinned and my name was Tejada and I was chunky. They used to call me Tejada the farter. You know what I did? I got on the ass too. Bottom line, we don't owe a single African no motherfucking apology. The person wrote back, so you could be mad at the white man and request an apology and a mule and 40 acres of land, which means slavery. But you guys don't owe us and our parents apologies for messing with us for years up until recently. So you really think that being teased and needing an apology for being teased is on par with black Americans wanting reparations for slavery? You really think, as a black immigrant, as a foreign black, you are owed something for being teased in the same vein as us being owed reparations? And a video was coming for you fucking black immigrants that think y'all deserve some type of reparations for American chattel slavery too. Oh yes, it is. So you could be mad at the white man and request an apology and a mule, 40 acres of land, but you guys don't owe us and our parents apologies for messing with us for years up until recently? I thought I was coming to America to get bullied by white people, but those mofos were our best friends. Y'all love white people. Y'all love them. Y'all love them so much you repeat their white colonizer rhetoric. But them mofos was our best friends because, well, African Americans unfortunately were hell on earth. But we still march with y'all and back y'all immigrant asses up, even if you're work, but you don't owe any black immigrants any apology. Like, you really think you're deserved an apology on the same level as reparations? Like, The diaspora wars are never gonna end, bitch, because the ego, the superiority complex, and the sense of motherfucking self-importance is off the goddamn charts. And this bitch, she changed her Instagram name because I got in her ass after this. So her Instagram name is different now. Because I really got in that bitch ass. Let's keep going. I said, laugh my ass off. They just compared being called African booty scratcher to slavery. That is actually hilarious. I swear, some of them be lying about that, and they just use it as an excuse to hate on us. I was like, a lot of people have said this. We get triggered and state facts. They make shit up and get ignorant. We don't even live around them. They move into little Africa in the U.S. where we Americans do not even move to. We never even see them. I still don't believe that African booty scratcher shit is fucking them up like this. Laugh my ass off. It's deeper, like jealousy. I was like, dead ass BAs are never going to apologize for that the way people want. They are equating bullying and teasing with slavery reparations. So if that's the hill the diaspora wars are going to remain on, they will remain there. They better stop asking for this apology. They're never going to get one. They aren't even on our minds enough to get one. They don't do shit in America to get one. Black Americans just found out who these FBs were last week. We don't care about them, hence why the African booty scratcher shit is a whole scam. Somebody else, I don't remember freed slaves requesting shit. They were told a promise this is going to happen by the government. I said, I'm sorry, but the false equivalence of us wanting reparations for slavery to Black Americans owing anything to any immigrant, Black or otherwise, is a fucking joke. Black Americans don't owe anybody anything, period. And I'm talking to you, whoever's watching. And we damn sure don't owe Black immigrants an apology the same way we are owed reparations. She should be ashamed. And I really went on to get in that girl's ass. Like, bitch, you should be ashamed. Like, let me read you that shit again. Like, Africans say that they don't feel unified with the Negro Americans because we allegedly said African booty scratcher years ago. All of us didn't say that. I was light-skinned and my name was Tejada and I was chunky. They used to call me Tejada the farter. You know what I did? Got on their ass too. Bottom line, we don't owe a single African no motherfucking apology. This bitch wrote back, so you could be mad at the white man and request an apology and a mule 40 acres of land, but you guys don't owe us and our parents apologies for messing with us for years up until recently. You really think? You thought. Oh, you thought. You motherfucking fuckers thought. Facts, I'm from the Midwest, went to mostly Black schools, and lived in a mostly Black neighborhood. I was never around Africans until college, and I've never in life called somebody African booty scratcher. I've been called one, though, jokingly. I replied, I said they're hypersensitive because they already don't like us, period. And then I said something to that girl about, so you think that slavery, asking for reparations for slavery, is on the same level as you needing an apology for being teased? What? And she was like, I'll go back to Haiti right after you get on your knees and thank the white man for bringing your ugly, ignorant Section 8 food stamps, welfare check hoe ass over here. Ooh, the white supremacist rhetoric jumped out. Other than that, your massa approved my citizenship and I was born in Africa, not Haiti. At least I have a home to go to. This idea of us not having a home jumped out. I said, laugh my ass off. I would do just that because my ugly, ignorant Section 8 food stamps, welfare check hoe ass made it possible for your family to immigrate here. You're welcome. Like, Black Americans marched specifically for immigration laws for y'all to even be here. And y'all come here and say we're lazy? We're lazy, ugly, ignorant Section 8 food stamps, welfare check hoes that have to give you an apology? These diaspora wars are never going to stop. They never going to stop. They never going to stop. Imagine my mom, a non-English speaker, coming to America with $50 and 13 years later, she's a fucking millionaire and has a business and houses from Canada to Africa to Haiti. Imagine her taking 3 buses to work to feed me without speaking a lick of English. Now imagine African Americans who were born here and ain't got shit to their names but food stamps and loans. Imagine that. Yet again, the white supremacist rhetoric jumped out. The idea that Black Americans are lazy, don't work. Black Americans fucking work. Black immigrants not the only motherfuckers working 3 jobs to support a fucking family. That's white supremacist rhetoric because y'all love white people. You're suffering from colonized minds. You benefit from this white supremacist infrastructure. You are colluding with white people against us. Full stop. I've said it for 10 videos. I'm going to say it for 10 more motherfucking videos because I'm tired of this shit. I said, imagine Black Americans fought for immigration rights and you have the nerve to say this like your black ass ain't here because of us. Imagine. This is the thing with fucking black immigrants. They don't see themselves as black like us. They see themselves as immigrants first. They have adopted, this could be a white colonizer immigrant. This could be a white immigrant. Imagine my mom, a non-English speaker, coming to America with $50 and 13 years later, she's a fucking millionaire and has businesses and houses. Imagine her taking 3 buses to work to feed me without speaking a lick of English. Now imagine African Americans who were born here and ain't got shit to their names but food stamps and loans, right? What type of, that could be a white immigrant. That could be like, that whole rhetoric, that whole fucking immigrants make America great rhetoric is anti-Black American, and it's also anti-Native American, which I have always said, which I'm going to continue to say. It's rhetoric that says that those of us that are from here, right, that are dealing with this infrastructure here that was made specifically to keep Native Americans as well as Black Americans, not all POC, not all, we all black people, Native Americans and Black American descendants of American chattel slavery specifically, the infrastructure was designed specifically to keep us at the bottom, right? And y'all adopted this immigrant bootstrap rhetoric. Anybody could come to America and pull themselves up by their bootstraps. It's racist white supremacist rhetoric, period. Y'all are black white supremacists. You're racists. You are suffering from colonized minds and internalized anti-black racism. In my dinosaur pajamas. Y'all gonna learn today. Then she tried to say, oh, I was a minion of the original dude, Tejada. I have no idea who that dude was. I just happened to see the comment. I was like, I have literally no idea who that person is, but do you genuinely believe slavery is the same as teasing? That is wild, if so. She said, you think you're the only one who experienced slavery? Now, mind you, she's the one that brought up slavery. Talk about some, oh, y'all think you're owed reparations, but you don't think you owe black immigrants. What the fuck do we owe black immigrants? What do we owe black immigrants? Black immigrants owe us. You're only here because black Americans fought for you to be here. And that's a fact. Jack? You think you're the only one who experienced slavery. My mom's side was brave enough to unite and kill their master. She's talking about Haitians. Okay, we get it. We understand y'all went through a lot, but why do black immigrants graduate school more than y'all? Why do they have more land than y'all? Why do they have more businesses than y'all? I'm waiting. Now, again, we're talking about school, businesses, and land, which is what? Infrastructure. Infrastructure. School, businesses, and land are a part of the white supremacist infrastructure of the United States that favors foreign blacks and favors black immigrants and favors all immigrants over black Americans and also over Native Americans as well. The infrastructure here, school, land, businesses, is designed specifically to disenfranchise black American descendants of American chattel slavery along with the indigenous peoples of North America. Us specifically, not anybody else, right? So y'all use these benchmarks of white supremacist infrastructure that you collude with against us as a way to say that you're better than us and you're doing better than us. And that's why, again, the diaspora wars are never going to end because y'all are never going to divest from the system because the system benefits you. There is a hierarchy, right, where it's white, it's non-black POC, it's black immigrants, foreign blacks, and then it's black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery way at the bottom. Y'all benefit from that hierarchical structure. And when we try to even talk about it, you say, well, we're all black, we're all being oppressed the same way. It's vile and offensive. Y'all might as well be white. I said, so is this, she said, you think you're the, I said, okay, let me go back. I said, I have literally no idea who that person is, but do you really genuinely believe slavery is the same as teasing? That's wild if so. You think you're the only one who experienced slavery. My mom's side was brave enough to unite and kill their master. We get it. We understand y'all went through a lot, but why do black immigrants graduate school more than you, more land than you, more businesses than waiting? I said, so is that a yes, that slavery is as bad as teasing, or a no? That was the question, and you have no answer. And no, I never said that BAs are the only people that experience slavery, but you're the one with the problem with us clearly, evidenced by your words about us being crack babies and Section 8 welfare hoes. Black immigrants get ahead because they collude with the white supremacist system against us and literally parrot what white people say. Exhibit A, you're stupid ass. Read a book, like I said, Black Like Them by Malcolm Gladwell. You know I have to plug my Gladwell. Is a good place to start. You're welcome yet again. Don't say Black black Americans never did anything for you. But then she had to keep going. And the original post that dude had replied to, where he said what he said, she called us stupid, dirty Yanks. These stupid, dirty Yanks be trying us. Did this nigga really just open his mouth and say this? Because he was like, everybody got teased. Baby, y'all were picking cotton 100 years after we were free. You're a fucking coon. Please turn this nigga into a goat because I'll eat him the fuck up. I said she really thought she was doing something, calling us cotton pickers and dirty, stupid Yanks. But then we'll say, I don't have a problem with black Americans. When you're calling black Americans cotton pickers and dirty, stupid Yanks and Section 8 welfare babies and this and that, that is also xenophobia. Like, again, it's totally fine, and somebody said this, somebody was like, it's totally fine to talk about black Americans because we're American. Everybody can say whatever they want about us, and we are not allowed to respond without them fucking pulling this xenophobia card on us like they're not the ones being xenophobic towards black Americans. Right? Xenophobia, intense or irrational dislike or fear of people from other countries. So when y'all talk about us being American, America is a motherfucking country. When you call us dirty Yanks, cotton pickers, you're being xenophobic towards black Americans. When you call us Section 8 welfare queen Akadas that are lazy and don't want to work, you're being xenophobic towards black Americans. Like, we about to be like that Spider-Man meme pointing at each other, bitch. Because y'all not getting away with that shit no more. That day's over. It's over. Like, they think we want reparations for white people being mean. If you're comparing name-calling to slavery, you have to have your thinking fucked up. She was literally writing paragraphs of ignorant shit, but once you call the African booty scratcher out, you're the childish one. I said, I'm the childish one that hates immigrants now, and she's the victim, after she literally spent 3 hours calling black Americans dirty Yank, cotton picker, lazy ghetto, Section 8 crack baby whores. They really have shit all the way fucked up. They think they could say whatever to us and then cry immigrant victim when we respond. The way they feel about black Americans is xenophobia, bitch. 2 people could play that. Y'all really think you could say whatever to BAs just because we are American? Tell me this isn't xenophobic, bitch. Imagine not having to deal with systemic racism and having foreign privileges. This bitch pissed me off. I hate how foreign blacks act like they don't tease and traumatize people too, like they're perfect. When you're fresh off the boat in Haiti, they literally will pretend not to speak Creole and act like they are American and tease you for having an accent, and they are only Haitian on the 18th of May. They like to scapegoat black Americans. Like, They think they are especially bullied and they are not. I think it's because they are not familiar with black American culture. Growing up black in the 90s and early 2000s, joning was very popular. Kids would literally use anything about you to make jokes. I don't understand why that would be a cause for resenting an entire group of people as a grown adult. I said they don't know us or understand our culture. Like, and that's just what it is. And even talking about, getting back to what I was talking about in the video with Melanie, where I was like, they don't understand us, they don't understand our culture, they hate us already, and just like I said in that video, you say African booty scratcher, and they jump to crackhead, Section 8, whore, welfare baby, lazy, you don't want to work, you're a dirty Yank, you're a cotton picker. They go 0 to 100. They escalate because they already don't fucking like us, and again, they're just saying what they already think. It's not because we called anybody no African booty scratcher. It's not because anybody was teased or bullied. I don't believe that. Or if that is really the case, you really need to get up off of your high horse. If you really believe like that fucking stupid ass bitch that fucking being teased is on the same level as slavery, like you deserve some type of reparations from American niggas for being teased, bitch, you're gonna be waiting a long ass time. You're going to be waiting to a cold-ass day in hell for that apology because you're never going to get it. And you need to stop using that as a fucking excuse for your vile opinions about black Americans that you already have, because that is the dominant idea in your fucking culture, especially if you're going to be sitting here talking all that shit in the United States, being xenophobic against the native black population here. You're going to really have to build a bridge and get over it, or the motherfucking conversation is not going anywhere. Because black Americans are never going to apologize, especially with people like this bitch that when you say we're not apologizing, she jumps to the white supremacist rhetoric motherfucking jumps out. Because that's how y'all really fucking feel. The end.